Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's tutorial we'll be learning how to make a pin cushion. If this is a video you're interested in, please keep on watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. So technically this is a simple tutorial on how to make a pin cushion. Now the materials I'll be using for this tutorial is this fabric. This is actually a baby face towel. Now the reason why I'm using a baby's face towel or a baby's handkerchief is because it has this colorful design that might make your cushion look a little bit beautiful. Now you can actually substitute this material for any material of your choice, be it Ankara, anything of your taste. So that is this for it. You'll be needing elastic band of about 1 inch. This is 1 inch elastic band, and you'll be needing the size of the cushion you want. Now I have two different sizes here. That's to actually tell you, if you want a bigger one, you can use the bigger cover of anything. This is just a cover of any container of your choice that you like the size, and this is a smaller size. So for this tutorial I'll just be using this size because we are still going to sew around. So before we'll be done, it will actually reduce to the normal size. Now the last thing we'll be using for this tutorial is the foam that we'll be using to fill in the cushion. Now the foam too is optional. You can choose to use pieces of fabric that you're not making use of, or you can even use Estee to apply inside, or even a cotton. So anything of your choice that you know you can use to fill in this cushion is perfectly okay. So let's just go down to the tutorial of this video. Now the first thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to place the container that I'll be making use of on this fabric, and I'll be using either a pen or a pencil to mark it round. So just watch what I'm doing. Now after marking it round, I will also mark the second one round because we'll be needing two for this tutorial. After marking this round, just like you can see, I'm just going to go ahead and use my scissors to cut out this shape that we have. Now after cutting out the first circle and the second circle, this is actually what it's looking like. Now the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do right now is to place this right side facing each other, because the reason for cutting out the two pieces for a turn up. So I'm just going to place this, making sure that the right side are facing each other this way. After placing it this way, I'll just go ahead from any part of the circle that you want. Just go ahead and mark half of an inch. So just measure half of an inch from any part of your circle. Now after measuring it and marking it down, I'm just going to go ahead on my sewing machine. I will sew with about 1/4 of an inch, starting from this point that we marked of our 0.5 inch. I will sew it all the way down and also stop at this point, making sure that this place is open for us to be able to turn it over. Basically, after I was done stitching round this circle, just like you see over here, I had this opening here that we're using to turn it over. So I'm just going to go ahead and notch the sides area of the stitched part. Now just go ahead and use anything that you can use to turn this over to the right side. Turning this over to the right side, this is technically what it is looking like. So the next thing we are just going to go ahead and do right now is to, from this opening space that we have here, we are just going to go ahead and use our foam that we have here to fill in this circle that we have already. Now we'll do this continually until it gets filled up, and make sure that there is no other space left inside our circle. So after I was done filling this up, this is what it's looking like. So the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to bring my needle and a matching thread. So I'm just going to go ahead and close up this open edge that we followed earlier to pass through our foam. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it close. After sewing this close with our needle, this is technically what is looking like. So we are just going to go ahead and keep this aside. Now the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to bring out the fabric we were making use of earlier. So this is the remaining fabric. I'm just going to go ahead and measure my round wrist. So the wrist, it depends whether you want yours to be tight or a little bit loose. So for me, I have 7.5 inches here. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 7.5 inches. Now this your fabric should be unfold this way. So for the width of this band, I'll be doing about 1.5 inch. I'll be using half of an inch to stitch it. Now while ensuring your width band, just make sure that it will be able to pass through whatever elastic you're making use of. So I'm going to do 1.5 inch. Now my round wrist is 7.5 inches, but I'll be doing 8 inches instead. So I'll just go ahead and mark the 8 inches. So after marking it out, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. Now after cutting the band for this out, the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do right now is to sew this open edge that we have here. Now we are going to be leaving the sides open, so I'm just going to sew only this open edge with about half of an inch. After sewing this edge with about half of an inch, I went ahead to trim out the excess. Now I'm just going to go ahead right now and turn this over to the right side. Turning this over to the right side, this is what is looking like. Now at this point, you can choose to go ahead and iron yours out, but for me, I'll be working with the fabric this way. So for the elastic, I'll also go ahead and measure my round wrist. So for it to be a little bit firm on me, I'll be subtracting. Remember the band we did was 8 inches, while my round wrist was around 7.5. So I'll be subtracting about 1 inch away from this band. That will be 6.5. But since I'll be joining the bands together, I'll add extra 1 inch after subtracting 1 inch from my normal wrist measurement. That will be left with 7.5 inches. So I'll just go ahead and cut out 7.5 inches away from this band. So after cutting out the band, I'm just going to go ahead and bring my safety pin. So this is a safety pin. I'll just go ahead and insert it to one end of this elastic band and close it up. Now I'm just going to pass this elastic band all the way out to this other side of the band. So after that, technically this is what is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this fabric outside, remove the safety pin that we used to insert the elastic band. Now while joining this, just watch closely. You notice that the fabric is not reaching the end. So the only thing I'm just going to go ahead and join right now is just the band. So I'm just going to use about half of an inch to join these bands together. So after I was done joining the bands together, this is what it's looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the excess that we have here. So after trimming it up, I'm just going to use this fabric to go ahead and cover the open side of the band that we joined earlier. I don't know if you can see. I just placed one side of it on top of the other to cover that up, and this is what is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch the two sides together. Now at this point, you want to use a matching thread so as not to make it visible. So I just go ahead and stitch sew on top of this fabric together so that it would not move away whenever we are trying to wear it. So after joining the ends, this is technically what it is looking like. So the next thing I'm just going to go ahead and do now is to bring this circle form that we've already filled. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it directly on top of this place that we stitched earlier. So I'll just place it this way, as you can see. Now I'm now going to go ahead and use my needle and thread again to attach this band to the circle. Now you can choose to sew it any way you want. Just make sure that the band is attached to your balls. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch this and make sure that it is tight. Attaching the circle to the band, this is what is looking like. The cushion is perfectly ready. Now I'm just going to go ahead and insert my pin to it, just like you see. With this, you can actually avoid losing your pin and actually spending unnecessarily in buying pin whenever you want. So with this, you can actually hold up your pin and use it for your sewing. I don't know if you can see. So that is all for this tutorial. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also turn on your notification bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. See you in our next video. Bye.